Magandang hapon po. Ito ang The Leader I Want Senatorial Debates at ako si Chai Hofilenia. Narito po tayo sa mini-theater ng Far Eastern University Institute of Technology sa Maynila. Rappler brings you this debate with our partners in PH Vote. These are Globe, 7-Eleven, Facebook, Twitter, DZRH Manila Broadcasting Corporation, and Media ng Bayan PTV4 and its partner, The Standard. Napapanood po tayo sa internet, sa live stream ng Rappler.com, sa telebisyon, live sa Media ng Bayan PTV4, at sa radyo, napapakinggan din tayo live sa DZRH. For 3 Fridays this April, we bring you a senatorial debate in a different school. We were at AMA University April 8 and at the University of the Philippines last April 15. Today, we're at the Far Eastern University Institute of Technology. I was told na this is the last few weeks of your exam week, right? So we're very, very happy that you are all here with us to listen to our senatorial candidates. All in all, you will be hearing 18 senatorial candidates. So this is our last batch of senatorial candidates. With us today, I would like to introduce our 6 candidates. Please welcome, let's start from the left. We have independent candidate Rafi Alunan. To his left is Dante Liban, also an independent candidate. Alan Montaño of the Nacionalista Party.
Of United Nationalist Alliance.
Oh, I'm sorry, Nacionalista Alliance. To his left is Susan Ople, also another independent candidate.
Chai, yeah, I'm with the Nationalista Party.
Oh, nagkapalit. Susan is with the Nacionalista Party. And Samuel Pagdilao, an independent candidate. And to the rightmost is independent candidate Diosdado Valeroso. For those watching on cell phones and computers, you can follow Rappler's live blog where our editors summarize and provide context. Vote on the mood meter, and for our online poll, vote for the winner in each round. Please use the hashtag #TheLeaderIWant when posting your reactions and questions on social media. We'll start with our first segment. For this segment, each candidate will have 3 minutes to speak. The candidate will explain a bit their respective platforms. You will hear this sound when you have 30 seconds left. Okay, so that's a very faint bell. And then this sound when your time is up. Okay, so that's a louder buzzer. Let's start. The most crucial question, and I think everyone here would want to hear from you. Why are you the leader we want? Let's start with Mr. Alunan. 3 minutes.
Thank you very much. I will speak to you as a grandfather, a father, and somebody who served in government during the time of President Cory Aquino and President Fidel V. Ramos. 2 years ago, I celebrated my 50th year as a graduate of La Salle Bacolod. After the graduation, the commemoration rites, my classmates and I talked about what had transpired over the past 50 years since we graduated from college, from high school. And we had a mixed report card for the Philippines. During the assessment, I came to the conclusion that the reforms that we put in place during the time of President Cory Aquino and Eddie Ramos after the dictatorship, which spanned 14 years, but a total of 21 years under one-man rule. The reforms that we put in place were slowly eroding away. And that it was important for people like us, grandfathers we may be today, to still be in the front lines and fight for the future of our children, the youth of the land, which comprise at least 40% of the country, because our sacred duty is to build a nation for our children. I recall that our professors in LaSalle, the LaSalle brothers, would tell us, before you die, you make sure that you leave behind the Philippines in much better shape than you were born into. And that's the thought that prevailed when we were discussing the state of the nation and the state of our governance. I would like to go back to be of help, to fix things, because there are many things to fix in our country. And I have a legislative agenda that focuses on good government, on reforming the criminal justice system, on human and ecological security, on poverty reduction and national development, and on public safety, internal security, and national defense. I can give you the bullet points and the specifics later in the Q&A, but that is what I have in mind. That's what I would like to do if and when you return me to public life. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Secretary Alunan. It's now the turn of former Quezon City Representative Dante Liban. You have 3 minutes, sir.
Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat at papasalamat po ako sa Rappler for organizing this event and for FEU, one of the greatest institutions we have for hosting the venue. On May 9, we'll be electing members of the Philippine Senate. It is a legislative body. And I honestly believe I have the requisites to be a senator. Number one, I have a set of advocacies. A public servant without advocacy is not really, for me, a public servant. My advocacies would cover the sanctity of life, marriage, and family, the support to the OFWs. I am the first chairman of the committee on OFWs. I fought for its creation in Congress, the first OFW committee in Congress. And I also proposed the establishment of an OFW bank, which another presidential candidate has decided to adopt my proposal. I have my advocacy on education, basic education, technical education, being former TESA Director General, and higher education, being a regent of UP and other universities. And of course, I have my soft heart for the Filipino inventors and innovators. I'm also advocating for the removal of pork barrels in the Senate. Let the funds, billions of pesos, be brought to the local governments and be used for development. Second, I have the experience. I've been a local legislator, a councilor of Quezon City. I've been a national legislator for 9 years, representing the biggest congressional district throughout the country with 600,000 votes. And that experience has pushed me to greatest heights of public service. Also, I believe I acquired certain expertise, aside from experience, expertise in basic education. I said earlier that K-12 is a welcome development for me because I've been advocating for that since day one I joined Congress. I'm also for technical education and, of course, for higher education. Being a policymaker in several private and state universities, I've acquired certain expertise in management of universities. Also, I have the character and values I believe. I believe I'm a practicing Christian. I have that fear in the Lord. My family is number one before anything else. That's why I believe all these requisites, number one, advocacies, experience, expertise, and the values. My number one value is the family value. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Congressman Liban. Labor lawyer Alan Montaño is next. Please tell us why we should vote for you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Ang problema sa kahirapan noon ay problema pa rin hanggang sa ngayon. Not less than the ASEAN Development Bank recently conducted a study at lumalabas na even for those who are employed, majority of them are considered as working poor. Definitely, for those who are unemployed, we can already imagine how difficult life it is. But surprisingly, when ADB said that even those who are already employed, they are considered as, most of them are considered as working poor. For us, it's not surprising. May mga trabaho nga yung mga kababayan natin, pero kadalasan, hindi regular ang trabaho. Kung may trabaho man, it's more often casual kung hindi man contractual. So, sa bahagi na yan, in the last 20 years, kaming nasa hanay ng organisadong labor, naniniwala, at hanggang sa ngayon, looking at the composition of the Senate, walang isa dyan that truly represents the sentiments of the working class, the sentiments of laborers, the sentiments of the farmers. For those hindi pa nakakilala kay Atty. Montaño, I would dare to say, perhaps sa lahat ng kumakandidato ngayon sa Senado, tanging si Atty. Montaño lang ang anak ng isang tinanting magsasaka. When I'm saying that with emphasis, I'm saying that because hindi ko na kailangan pag-enumerate kung ano yung banggitin, yung mga difficulties, yung mga paghihirap na naranasan ng ating mga kababayan. Majority ng sinasabing mga mahirap nating kababayan coming from the agricultural sector. Second, having been in the labor movement in the last 22 years, hindi ko na rin enumerate, hindi ko na rin banggitin kung ano yung mga difficulties na naranasan ng ating mga kababayan. But for sure, while we may have the best economic performance in the entire Southeast Asian countries, in the recent years, tinalo natin ang Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, Myanmar pagdating sa economic performance. That means, sabi tayo ang may pinakamataas na economic growth. That simply means na merong gumagaan ang buhay, merong yumayaman. Unfortunately, tanging yung mga mayayaman lamang ang lalong yumayaman, pero mga mahihirap nating kababayan lalong humihirap. So, Atty. Montaño is advocating for free education, free universal healthcare, plus sa bahagi ng labor, ako naniniwala na dapat i-recognize ang contribution ng mga manggagawa sa paglago ng ating ekonomiya by way of productivity incentive and profit sharing. I will be elaborating that point later if time would permit. Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat, and I'm very thankful sa FEU sa pag-host nitong ating activity this afternoon.
Maraming salamat din po, Attorney Montaño. Next is Labor Advocate Susan Ople. Maybe we'd also be curious to know what would differentiate your position on labor with his position on labor issues. Why should we vote for you?
Thank you, Chay. Una, bilang pagpapakilala, kasi kami lahat na humaharap sa inyong mga kandidato, mga tao din kami, may mga pamilya din kami. Siguro maigsi lang, ako ay isang ina, solo parent ako, solo mom. I have only one daughter. Her name is Estelle. Graduate na siya at graduate ng Poli-Sci pero may sariling business of her own and I'm very proud of her. Mahilig ako sa aso. Yung mga mahilig sa aso dito. Siyam ang aso ko. Paborito kong aso, pangalan Almond. At yung pinakahuli kong may nagregalo sa akin na Siberian Husky, ang pinangalan ko ay Tokneneng. So, yun ang buhay namin, napakasimple. At yung pinaghuhugutan ko, kaya ko naisipan na tumakbo. Kasi katulad nyo, iniidolo ko rin yung magulang ko. Yung tatay ko, si Blas F. Ople, kung dadaan kayo sa Ortigas, makita nyo isang building doon, yung POEA building, hindi amin yon. Pero sa taas no nakalagay Blas F. Ople Building. Pinangalan sa tatay ko. At dati siyang estudyante sa FEU. Hindi lang nga niya natapos yung kanyang kolehiyo dahil sa sobrang kahirapan. Dating kargador sa Pierre, naging Labor Secretary, naging Constitutional Commissioner, Foreign Affairs Secretary, at Senate President. Siya ang nagpasimuno ng overseas employment. Lumaki ako na yung bahay namin laging puno ng mga manggagawa. Kaya yung sa akin, wala na yung tatay ko, pero gusto ko ituloy. Hindi ko madugtungan yung buhay niya, pero gusto kong dugtungan yung serbisyo niya sa ating bayan, lalo na sa ating OFWs. So yun yung aking platform. Una, dapat may ospital sa mga OFWs. Ang dami naming napauwi, yung iba nag-ahasa, ang lalim ng trauma, walang ahensya na may healthcare services para sa OFWs. Pangalawa, isang Department on Migration and Development para hindi sila pinapasa-pasa lang. Pangatlo, isang batas against age discrimination in the workplace. Kayo, tatanda din kayo. Sana hindi masyadong mabilis, pero tatanda rin kayo. Dito, pag 35 years old and above, ang tingin na matanda sa ating workplace. Dapat, abilidad, hindi edad ang pamantayan sa pag-hire ng mga empleyado. At panghuli, batay na rin sa aking advocacy as a writer, sa tingin ko, dapat learning investment ang libreng wifi sa mga state colleges. Kasi, hindi na uso ngayon ang library card. Bawat sulok ng isang school campus, pwede ng library dahil sa wifi. So, yun ang aking advocacy. At mahalin ninyo ang inyong mga aso.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Ople. Former Police General and Party List Representative Samuel Pagdilao is next. Please listen. Okay, so Mr. Samuel Pagdilao is next. You also have 3 minutes.
Thank you very much. Magandang hapon po sa lahat. Bago ako magpatuloy, gusto ko pong magpasalamat sa FEU community at ganoon din po sa Rappler for sponsoring this activity this afternoon. At syempre po, hello sa lahat po ng mga sumusunod sa pamagitan po ng live streaming. Siguro po importante ipapakilala ko ang aking sarili sapagkat hindi naman po ako sikat, hindi po ako artista, mukhang artista lang. Hindi po tayo action star, pero tunay na action man sapagkat tayo po talaga ay tunay na nakipaglaban, nakipagbarilan sa mga kaaway po ng ating bansa, yun pong gumugulo at bumibiktima sa mga katulad niyong mga peace-loving citizens. Ako po si Samuel Sir Chief Pagdilao. Ako po ay retiradong general, a 2-star general of the Philippine National Police. Pagkatapos ko pong graduate sa Philippine Military Academy noong pong 1979. Ako po ay naging recipient ng Chief of Staff Saber sapagkat ako po yung baro ng aming class. Ano po, yan po yung equivalent ng inyong Corps Commander. Ako po ay isang abogado rin, nagtapos po sa Universidad de Santo Tomas. Graduate po bilang cum laude at nakapasa po bilang isang abogado. At ngayon po isang mambabatas representing the ACT-CIS Party List, Anti-Crime and Terrorism through Community Involvement and Support. Ang tanong po, am I the leader that you want? Well, casting aside or being humble, rather, perhaps I'd rather say that I am the leader that you want. Kasi po, peace and order ang pangangailangan ng panahon, pangangailangan ng ating bansa. Peace and order po ang panawagan ng panahon. At yun po ang aking isinusulong na plataforma o programa. Bakit po? Ang isang lugar na hindi po maayos, hindi po tahimik, ay napakahirap pong umasenso. I've been assigned to so many places, troubled places, right after I graduated from PMA. At nakita ko po ang kahirapan. Gawa po na hindi pumapasok ang negosyo kasi po magulo. Wala pong kaayusan. So, kinakailangan po natin bigyan ng kaayusan at katahimikan para pumasok ang negosyo, papasok po ang turismo. These are essentials to a country or a place that wants progress, especially economic progress. Of course, I am not a one-dimensional legislator. Alam po natin na pag gutom ang tiyan, hindi po sumusunod o walang kinakilalang batas. So also, kinakailangan po natin i-address ang ibang mga problema ng ating bansa. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Congressman Pagdilao. Ang susunod naman ay ang Young Officers Union or YOU founder and retired Chief Superintendent Diosdado Valeroso. Meron po kayong 3 minuto.
Maraming salamat, Chay. Salamat sa Rappler, salamat sa FEU. Mga mahal kong kababayan, I am General Diosdado Tolentino Valeroso, a member of PMA Sandigan Class of 1982, founder of the Young Officers Union in 1988. I believe then, as I do now, in the YOU motto, condemn what is wrong and fight for what is right. Ako po ay tumatakbo bilang isang senador dahil naniniwala po ako sa framework ng analysis natin, merong tatlong malalaking sektor ng lipunan. Ito po yung business sector, the engine of our economic growth, the government sector, the regulator of economic resources, how resources must be distributed in our society, and then the public sector. Tayo po yan, the consumers of public goods and services. Sa akin pong analysis, kailangan nating sagutin ang mga problema dito sa mga sektor na to. At nakabuo po tayo ng isang tinatawag kong Strategic Development Legislative Agenda na meron tatlong malalaking clusters. Ito po ay economic sovereignty, yung social justice, at political security. Sa economic sovereignty po, ang pangunahin natin dyan na kailangang ma-address ay yung foreign debt law. Ito po ay nakapaloob sa Section 31 ng PD 1177. Ito po ay presidential decree, panahon pa po nito ni Ginong Marcos. At dito, nakasad yung automatic appropriation. Ito po dapat ang pagtuunan ng Kongreso sa haba-haba ng panahon for more than 50 years, almost. Kailangan i-repeal natin ito at magkaroon ng isang kapangyarihan ng Kongreso sa pamamagitan ng House Bill or Senate Bill na ating pangungunuhan. Para nang sa ganun, yung mga resources na dapat na ipinambabayad natin sa pagkakautang ay maitustos natin sa ating education, sa health, sa defense and security ng bansa, among others. Dito po sa social justice natin, kailangan natin ng isang matibay na social security nets or safety nets na magkakaroon ng provision para sa bawat pamilyang Pilipino ay magkaroon ng scholar. No? Matustusan natin ang pagpapaaral. Sabi nga nila, meron daw 24 million na pamilyang Pilipino. Hindi naman po nangangahulugan na 24 million din sa bawat pamilya ang matutustusan natin yan. But it is a good start. Ako po ay naniniwala na sa tagubilin, treat your men as friends and they will follow you. Treat your men as brothers and they will follow you to death. Treat your men as children and they will follow you even beyond death. That is the leader that you want. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you rin po. Yan ang first part ng ating senatorial debate. Susunod na ang issues, questions, and answer portion. Use hashtag #TheLeaderIWant when posting your reactions and questions on social media. Magbabalik po kami